did you know that there's technically more pyramids outside of Egypt than inside Egypt? With this Egypt news, let's talk about the Nubian pyramids and those found at Tombos. Archaeologists from both the Netherlands and the US investigated the area of Tombos, which is located at the third cataract of the Nile River in Sudan. In ancient times, this area was known as Nubia, and the civilization in this area was named Kush. Now, following Egypt's takeover of the region around 1400 BCE, they established the city of Tombos, and it was constructed by the Egyptians in this Nubian territory to facilitate a colonial control. The wealthy people in the area of Tombos were buried in tombs like these. These two images are from a different area in Nubia, but we know that they would have had larger, kind of pyramid-like tombs similar to these ones. In the study, they investigated 110 skeletons that they found in Tombos, and specifically looked at the muscles and the ligaments that were attached to these bones to essentially approximate how much labor these people may have done in their lives. Even when those ligaments and muscles are not preserved, they actually result in distinct crests and ridges on the bone that point to if you were using your body more intensely or more frequently or less. One would usually assume that if these markers are not really appearing on the bone, that might be somebody of high class who didn't really have to do a lot of hard labor in their life, and then the opposite if those markers do appear on the bone. But what they discovered in this study is that these pyramids were not just for the rich and wealthy and those who essentially would not have those labor markers, but it seems that these lower class laborers were buried alongside those elite ones. Previously, it had just been assumed that if you essentially were able to build a large pyramid tomb, that you were of the more wealthy and of the elite, and those were people who were not doing as much labor. And this study, at least in this area of Nubia, tells us that that might not be the case at all. This is definitely a very interesting study, and you would have to look really in detail in some examples if this is appearing outside of this area of Sudan. But it does tell us a little bit more about the people of Tombos and how they interacted with each other in that area.